So now we've reached the stage where we've trimmed off around the outside any extra hardboard, and we've used the band facer to sand each side of our box. We can see that some of the joints now are quite good. They've been made with precision, so we're looking at level 5 or 6 joints here. You can see they're quite good, but some of the joints might have small gaps, and we might even have a situation where we've made a mistake and we've got a large gap. Now don't worry about that, we can rectify that, we can fix that, and what we need to do is we need to get a small piece of wood, softwood, and just glue it in there, and then when we sanded it all and finished it, we'll hardly see that. So we're going to take a small off-cut piece here that was left over from when we made the box. We're going to take a chisel and a mallet, and we're just going to cut it along the grain. If you look at the piece of wood, you can see that there's grain marks along that way, and we're going to use the chisel to cut along the grain, and the wood will split. So what we've done is just cut off a small piece of wood, and we've got the grain there. Now you can see that there's a gap, and we're going to put a small amount of PVA glue in to the gap. Make sure it's a reasonable amount, and take our piece that we've just cut off, and that's just going to push in like that. If necessary, tap it in with a mallet, and then a little extra glue, and with your fingers. Now you can see now that's not great, but once we've sanded that, that will look much better, and then we're ready to use a small amount of filler in these gaps here. Just go around, check all of your joints, any that you think you can fit in. Even if you take very thin pieces of wood, you might be able to fit some in where you've got a gap. So I've got a tiny gap there, you can see that, and a thinner piece of wood, and I'm just going to put a piece of glue in, put a bit of glue in, put that in. Now I've got a little bit sticking out there, you can see the part sticking out. I'm going to let that dry. When it's dry, I can just cut it off with a coping saw, and then I'm ready to just fill and final hand sand the box.